Welcome back, my friends, to another unsolicited and uneducated football analysis with your friend David Valentin back here on the couch where all dreams come true. Um, I'm here to talk about Stevenage. There you go, the Tricky Reds of England, um, part of my fandom, my football fandom that I have neglected in the channel simply because I felt that I wasn't not gonna do any justice to it. I haven't been away from talking about the club. I was invited last season to the Stevenage uh, Football Club podcast with my good friend Matt Farley. We had heart to heart at probably, arguably, the darkest era of the club in the last decade, and one where we pulled through, thankfully. If you go to the channel and you see that the last video that I did about Stevenage was as Stevenage was fighting relegation, and it did not look good. If this is the first time that you have watched my content about Stevenage, I am a American, as you can see by my accent. I live in Orlando, Florida. I'm an Orlando City fan in the MLS. Through my fandom of Orlando City, I met Stevenage fans who also were Orlando City fans, and I sort of wanted to return a favor. I said, okay, you follow my club, I'm going to follow yours. And I started following Stevenage in the 2019-2020 season. A horrific one at that. But I have fallen in love with the club. Very active. Obviously, I buy the merch. I watch the games. I do everything but attend the games because obviously I'm not in country. But I am part of this new crop of Americans that are following lower league English football. Right now, in the United States, the documentary "Welcome to Wrexham" is super popular, and there's a lot of interest for this grassroots community clubs, and people want to people. That's what people want. People want to follow that because. Let's be honest. At the EPL level, you're looking at a machine corporation, huge stadiums, where the fans may just be a number. I find myself lucky enough to be following a club where most of the fans know who I am, and I know who they are, and that's the beauty of Stevenage. And the fan base has always made me feel welcome as part of the club. But with that said, I have a video detailing why I became a fan of Stevenage in my channel, so you're more than welcome to go look at that. To go back to the last video that I did, Stevenage found itself with 7 games left in the month of March before Paul Tisdale was relieved from his appointment as manager. When he came to the club, we felt that him taking over for Alex Ravel was going to improve our condition as we were on a free fall to relegation. And guess what? This time, there's no clubs dying or not paying their employees to save us. The solution was, and excuse me, I'm going to get a little bit more comfortable. The solution was to bring Steve Evans, the Scottish manager, and we're going to talk a little bit about him in a minute, who, short of being a miracle worker, saved single-handedly this club. And in my opinion, as the years go by, when his time at Stevenage comes to an end, I think us as fans, we need to remember him fondly with respect because what he did, few people have the ability to do. To walk into basically what I felt was a losing situation. Around this time, my good friend Matt Farley from Stevenage Football Podcast invited me to talk about Stevenage. And at the time, we went over all the possible scenarios, who we needed to beat, we needed to win, this game, that game. I mean, it was basically. I don't know if you guys have seen the meme of the guy uh, putting out the dots for the conspiracy theory. That's pretty much how I felt. I invite everybody to, if you want to listen to that episode, is available on Spotify, and it was one in which when I said goodbye, I told Matt, I said, if we go down to the National League, and now for my American fans, for the American football fans, now that you are seeing all the problems that Wrexham is having in the National League, well documented on their documentary. Now you see, and it will make sense what I'm about to tell you. The fact that if Stevenage was relegated to the National League, that would have meant no more games. I wouldn't have the ability to watch them. At best, I was gonna be able to probably listen to Three Counties BBC Three Counties Radio online, and but it's not the same. It's not the same listening to audio and not being able to watch the games themselves. So, but like I said, it was a great episode where we just we left it up in the air, thinking that that things we're gonna change for a positive, but of course it was just wishful thinking. Fortunately for us, turned out to be okay. So let's go and learn a little bit about Steve Evans. I gotta be honest with you, I did not know much about Steve. I have a friend here in Orlando, my good friend Daniel. Shout out to Daniel, who is a Leeds fan. Steve was a manager for Leeds, and by the way, Daniel's from Leeds, so he's an Englishman living here in Orlando, and he spoke about him with a lot of reverence, because he seems like a nice fellow. So who's Steve Evans? Well, Steve Evans, born on the 30th of October of 1962. That means in a few weeks, as I'm recording this, will be turning 60 years old. Is a former professional football player and a manager. Steve had a playing career that goes through several clubs and managed several teams. But I'm going to concentrate on his managerial career. One of the things that I did not know, well, again, born in Glasgow, Scotland, as a striker. You see the guy today, and it's hard to see him as a lean young man at up top, but looks can be deceiving. Steve's career ended through a knee injury when he was 24 years old, unfortunately. His career playing career goes from England to Scotland. And one of the things that I did not know was that before becoming a manager, he actually had been working at Budweiser as I think in sales or something as a manager. I found that super interesting. It's not the first time that I have heard stories of somebody leaving football because it didn't work out, or getting a real job and then coming back and in a blaze of glory. But this is a man that I wasn't expecting to see this from. So he returned to be a manager. He managed, and again, please forgive me, some of the names of the cities are Old Norse or Anglo-Saxon. So if I mispronounce this, don't kill me in the comments. Help me. Tell me the proper pronunciation. You got Stanford, Boston United twice. While manager at Boston, unfortunately, he was persecuted for tax evasion. I believe he did time. So that's something interesting to say. Then Crawley Town, Rotherham United, Leeds, which is what he's best known for. It's the highest caliber team that he ever managed. Then Mansfield Town, then Peterborough United, and then Gillingham. And from there, he comes to Stevenage. Let's see here. So that's pretty much it. Now this is the interesting thing. This is what Steve Evans walks into as he's walking at the old Lamex Stadium in Stevenage. When he was appointed manager, the 16th of March of 2022, the club was sitting in the 22nd position, just right above the relegation zone, 3 points clear over the relegation zone, with the team below having 2 games in hand. That was all Athletic, and mind you that on a head-to-head game against Olam at the Lamex that we had to win, we lost it 1-0, and I thought the world was coming down. And as a matter of fact, that game happened the following weekend after I had my appearance in Matt's podcast. Survival was secured within 3 matches remaining after a run of 10 points across Evans' first 6 matches, culminating in a 2-0 home win over Transme Rovers. And so his side moved 7 points clear from Olam Athletic, and who were relegated at Stevenage's expense. That, to me, is what was incredible. Now, one of the things that probably will surprise a lot of fans of Stevenage is the fact that this is his record so far from March of 2022 to October of 2022, where I'm recording this. Steve has played 25 games, winning 17, drawing 2, and losing 6 for a whopping 68% winning percentage. That is amazing. And I have my fair share of managers and all the clubs that I follow, but this winning percentage is incredible. Out of 25 games, 17 have been victories. That's impressive. And as a Stevenage fan, I have seen at least 7 managers, and if you include caretakers, more than that. So let's see what transformation did Steve did on Stevenage. Well, first of all, the transfers that have been making impacts. This is one of the things, and this part, I guess, can be for any fan of football because it's not Stevenage centric or specific, is the fact that managers, great managers, walk into situations, any situation, and they turn it around. And also, they make signings that are impactful. They're easy on the purse, they're easy on the eye, and they get results on the pitch where it counts. Well, these are the signings that were brought in by Steve. Michael Bostic, center back, goalkeeper Aaron Chapman, left back Max Clark, center back Carl Piagiani, left. What is this? I'm sorry. My prescription has to be changed. Midfielder Jordan Roberts, and now the screen. Thank you. Center forward Danny Rose, right back Kane Smith, center back Dan Sweeney, and right winger David Amu, which we haven't seen a lot of. But all these other gentlemen have either scored or assisted in basically the run of games. Now, this is the part that sometimes is painful, but sometimes is very necessary. These are the players that were transferred out. Here we see Harrison, Bruno Andrade, Bradley Berry, Sasha Bastien, Charlie Carter, Ben Coker, Scott Cuthbert, former captain, James Daly, Harry Draper, Sam Dreyer, Dreyer, I'm sorry, Luis Fernandez, Chris Lines, Luke O'Neill, Luke Proser, Timmy Smith, Ed Upson, Laurie Walker, Ross Marshall, and Max Granville. Some of these guys, very nice fellas. I really liked Ben Coker, but and Charlie Carter, I think they were very nice guys. Scott Cuthbert, I believe he had very good leadership. But again, if the club found itself failing to meet expectations, some people had to go. And not only that, he brought in some loans that I believe have been incredible. Saxon Early, who I'm super high on, I really like this kid. Ashby Hammond, goalkeeper. Saxon is a defensive mid. Center mid Alex Gilby, and defensive mid Dean Campbell. Again, these kids. And by the way, that's an Americanism. This is a grown man, but we say kid. Doesn't matter what. These kids, they're fantastic. I mean, the how the team is gelling is very good. It's a very small squad, and because it's a very small squad, basically every single player, it could be a starter in any other club. In the past, the team got to be very, very big, a very big squad that was costing a lot of money and was getting no results. But this time, basically, you have a Spartan unit where every man knows their job and knows what to do and knows what he needs to do in order to accomplish the mission. The mission is winning games, and they are doing exactly that in cup competitions and also in the league. So, where is Stevenage right now? As of the recording of this video, Stevenage is tied to first place with Leyton Orient for the first position, and technically it is in second only due to goal differential. I believe that's the tiebreaker there. Let's see. Actually, Leyton Orient has played one game less. Okay, but anyhow, Stevenage is sitting in the top 3 automatic promotion spots. Who would have thought that last year, as they were barely trying to survive? Out of the 12 games played, 9 wins. Okay, 9 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. Goals for 17, goals against 10, for a goal differential of +7, 28 points. Mind you, when I saw this team in my first season as a fan, this team won 3 games. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lord, take the wheel. And at home, as of right now, out of 6 games, all wins. 10 goals scored at home and only 2 conceded for a +8 goal differential. Unfortunately, on the road, that's where we have the 2 losses and the draw. But we have 1 on the road, something that for Stevenage was super, super difficult. And let's see here. Let's see what else we can show. So the form of this club: win, draw, win, loss, win, loss, win. You can always tell a lot about a football club on how they recover. So, with the exception of a bad outing at Bradford City, where the club basically lost 3-0, Stevenage has only failed to score twice in both defeats, against Bradford and against Salford, where the decisive goal came in stoppage time at the death of the game. which could have ended 0-0. But other than that, Stevenage has scored and two occasions, two occasions, actually make that three occasions. It has kept a clean sheet, so things are doing great in the EFL Cup as well. Stevenage is finding itself advancing to the second round, and as looking at the time, 20 minutes already. I feel that Stevenage is going to get promoted this year. Everything is pointing out to that. The players definitely are players that, regardless of coming out of the bench, the intensity, the talent, the ability to win the games, it's not going to diminish. To me, that's critical. One of the things that a lot of long-time football fans always say is, as long as you're winning at home and tying on the road, you're gonna win something. You're gonna get promoted. You're gonna get to the playoffs. You're gonna lift a trophy. I believe that so far Stevenage it's doing exactly that at home, is winning, and on the road is being effective. I think our time after 9 seasons in League Two is coming to an end on a positive note. We're not going to the National League. We're moving on to League One. And I'm going to give you a little bit of commentary, as we are seeing more money outside of England, especially from millionaires, in particular from Canada and the United States, going into lower league football. We probably are about to see an era of the have and have nots, and it's critical for Stevenage to cement itself in League One. I would like to see the team get to League One, establish itself there, grow the fan base, grow the finances, make some improvements to the Lamex, look more professional, and then shoot for that championship promotion. I think that's the future of the club. That's its destiny, and who knows? Dare to dream. The day Stevenage walks into the Premiership, that's a day that wow, it will be incredible. I remember the first time somebody mentioned that to me. I was at the team shop for Orlando City, and I had my Stevenage jersey on with the Burger King logo. And the guy checking me out was like, "Oh, what club is that? Burger King. That's interesting." And I said, "Oh, well, they're in League Two, fourth division." And he said, "Oh, that's awesome. Now you can follow them going into the Premiership." And I laughed a little bit about that, but anything can be possible. Well, my friends, so that's basically it. Tomorrow, I'm recording this on Friday. Tomorrow, Stevenage, if they win their game, they may be on the very top of the league. And as the season continues, I will continue to revisit the club. Like I said, I recommend you go and listen to the Stevenage podcast, the Borrow Pod. Those guys do a great job. And if you're looking for a club to follow, I suggest you download the EFL app and you choose Stevenage as the club to follow. It's not that expensive, and I guarantee you that you are going to enjoy following a club that is living its best life at the moment, and they're really fun to watch. Attractive, aggressive football, and I couldn't be happier. So, to Steve Evans, thank you. Also, Alex Royale still on board, learning the Padawan to the Jedi Master, and it's my opinion that when Steve decides to leave the club, Alex will be left behind, ready to take the wheel in this club and take us to bigger places. Because how great it is to have a mentor of this caliber and teaching you the ropes. I think that's very critical for our club to not only think about today but to think about tomorrow. Hopefully you found the video entertaining, informative. To the longtime Stevenage fans, I hope that I have done it some justice. And yes, looking at the camera, yeah, this couch looks like crap. I get it. Well, with nothing else to be said, I can be found on Twitter at Florida_man76, and you can subscribe here to the channel, the legendary David. Give me a thumbs up, subscription, whatever. I'm gonna try to create more Stevenage content, but primarily, sad to say, to all of you, I'm going to be doing a ton of work for Stevenage, for Orlando City. I'm sorry. Also, I can be found Monday nights live, 8:30 p.m. local time at Loud and Proud Orlando, with my podcast with my friends Luis Pineda and Paola Medina, talking about this club. And it's a fun show. And from time to time, I bring up Stevenage there because sometimes things that are happening in Stevenage and in general football, need to be talked about. As Orlando City's season's most likely coming to an end if they don't make playoffs, or on a week-to-week basis. If they continue in the playoffs, we're probably going to be taking some time off until the season starts again next year. But yeah, so you can follow me at Loud and Proud Orlando here on YouTube. Like I said, we're live on Mondays, but if you don't get the chance to watch us, you can go ahead and watch the videos later on. And with nothing else to be said, come on, you tricky Reds. Come on, Borough. We are getting promoted to League One, and there's nothing all the haters can do about that. Thank you very much. May God bless you. Let's go, Borough.